Joseph Smith is cooler than your man. Welcome to Truth Duel Official. In this video, you will learn about Joseph Smith, the founder of Mormonism with a dark past. You'll want to stick around till the end of this video to learn how to avoid going to war against the United States of America. But first, I am your host, Misinformation. If you like this channel, make sure to subscribe to receive more great religious history, misinformation analysis, and other sentiments and ramblings that please and amuse us, and become a truth dueler, because only you can slay misinformation at its source. Get our app on truthduel.com. Like any good biblical story, this one starts with an angel. When Joseph Smith was 21 years old, he claimed to have been visited by an angel named Moroni. How fitting for God to send an angel named Moroni to a moron. The angel told him to dig up 3 secret golden tablets.
The angel Moroni told Joseph about a book. The book was about people who had lived in the Americas long ago. Jesus Christ had come to these people and taught them his gospel. Moroni said the book was written on gold pages called plates. It was written in a language that is unknown to us today. God wanted Joseph to translate the book into English.
Smith dug them out of the ground. However, since he was unable to write, he needed people to transcribe them for him. Smith would sit in his kitchen with a blanket hanging between him and the scribe. He said that if anyone else were to see the tablets, they would die immediately. That's really convenient. So convenient, in fact, that the wife of one of the scribes stole the manuscript. She told Joseph Smith that if the tablets were real, he'd be easily able to produce a copy of the original script. What did Joseph Smith say in response? Now that the manuscript had been stolen, it was tainted by the devil, meaning it wasn't the original anymore. Seems like Joseph Smith had an answer up his sleeve for everything. He'd make a good politician, or a con artist. Some would say those are the same thing. However, Joseph Smith really was a con artist. By the end of his life, he accumulated the charges of banking fraud, illegal banking, fornication, threatening a public official, conspiring to assassinate a public official, incitement of a riot, perjury, polygamy, and treason against 2 states. So many charges. Some of his con schemes included false gold-digging operations and telling people he was a necromancer. That sounds like marriage material to me. Really, is your man cooler than a necromancer running a gold mining operation?
Good day, I'm Bob the Necromancer, and today we're doing an unboxing.
Besides being a bad boy straight out of a teen romance novel, why did people follow Joseph Smith? Smith was lucky because he lived in a region called the Burned Over District. It was called that because it repeatedly fell prey to religious crazes such as the Shakers. The residents were also aware of the history of the region. Before it was called New York, the land was home to Native American tribes. This meant that a lot of people came into town for pseudo-archaeological purposes. Some people were digging for gold or using magic crystals to divine for treasure. Others were looking for evidence proving a lost tribe of Israel came to America. Now wouldn't it be crazy if somebody were to come along, find some gold, and the gold turns out to be evidence for a lost tribe?
Coincidence? I think not!
Joseph Smith wasn't just satisfied with being an American prophet. He needed to be an American prophet with over 30 wives. I'm sure he wasn't satisfying those wives with Mormon missionary position, but if missionary position bores you, then be sure to watch our video, Censored Scripture, Why Lilith is Cooler Than Your Girl. However, the reality is a lot less fun than it sounds. Joseph Smith's oldest wife was 56 and his youngest was 14. The girl later said that, quote, "I felt quite sore over it and thought myself an abused child," end quote. Of course she was a child. 14 is the age of a middle schooler. She should be a fan of boy bands, not a cult leader, though some would argue that's the same thing. Not only that, but some of these women were already married to other men. When one man learned Smith intended to marry his sister, he said, quote, "But if I ever should know that you do this to dishonor and debauch my sister, I will kill you as sure as the Lord lives." End quote. Smith's polygamy caused a lot of anger in the burgeoning Mormon religion, including an argument with his original wife. Emma Smith wasn't aware that Joseph was marrying other women, and when she found out, she threatened him with divorce. She also talked to other women about opposing polygamy, and some men even agreed with her. One of these men was William Law, who spoke out against polygamy after Joseph Smith tried to marry Law's wife. Law was then excommunicated from the church. Does your man excommunicate his cult followers for you, or does he just buy you a bouquet? It's time to start raising your standards. Smith kept his polygamy a secret for quite a while. He openly spoke against adulterers and fornicators and excommunicated people who threatened to expose him. It seems like Smith's gifts for hypocrisy was God-given. He also called for the emancipation of all enslaved people. Seems modern for a guy living in the 19th century, until you realize Smith also said dark skin was a curse of Cain and black people were denied priesthood until the late 20th century. A smarter conman would have tried to swindle both black and white people. A smarter conman would also probably steer away from going to war against the state of Illinois. Unfortunately for the Mormons, Joseph Smith was not that man. In 1844, Smith ran for president. Coincidentally, or not, that was also the year he began drafting a replacement for the Constitution that disposed of democracy and replaced it with a theocratic kingdom. Remind anyone of certain dystopian society from A Handmaid's Tale? However, before Smith could become God Emperor of the United States, he was arrested because someone spilled secrets about his polygamist lifestyle. That person was William Law, the excommunicated man who was angry that Smith wanted to bang his wife. I mean, the nerve of some people to stop a God-fearing man from committing adultery. Smith then pulled a pro-gamer move and called for martial law. The state of Illinois responded by threatening military action against the town of Nauvoo, where Smith and the Mormons resided. The residents of Nauvoo were displeased, to put it mildly, and a mob of 200 people stormed the jail where Smith was being held. Thus, Joseph Smith became the first presidential candidate to be assassinated. Bruno Mars would take a grenade for you, but Joseph Smith would take an entire mob. So romantic. This wouldn't be the last time the Mormons would fight the government. Later that century, the Mormons raised an armed resistance in Utah against the United States military. Let's cut to our Truth Duel investigative reporters who are searching for the point of the contention. After much digging and door-to-door preaching, they discovered that the conflict was about polygamy. Why am I not surprised? Eventually, the Mormons joined the Union after publicly ending the practice of polygamy. But who knows what they do behind the closed doors of the temple with all that magic underwear?
Knock. Who's there? It's the kids in magic underwear. Knock, knock. Who's there? It's the kids in magic underwear.
Speaking of secret rituals, did you know that Joseph Smith has ties to the Freemasons? Quite a lot of people do. Tell us about some others that please and amuse you in the comments below. Misinformation wishes you well and says that with a little tablet and a lot of lying, you too can be the next American prophet. P.S. Don't want to be a Mormon? You don't really have a choice. The church will baptize you after you die.
Where's the money, Lebowski? You want that money, Lebowski? Bunny says you're good for it. Where's the fucking money, shithead?
It's down there somewhere. Let me take another look.
Until next time, make sure to like our video, subscribe to our channel, and become a Truth Dueler. Or Joseph Smith will steal your wife and look cool doing it.